interesting happen on the cruise? Any fights?
No.
Nobody went to jail?
No, not we know of.
No dogs caught marijuana?
No.
Wow, then it's a pretty calm cruise for Conquest. That's usually where it all happens.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah, on the Conquest it does. That's the party cruise. They weren't partying?
There's more family because of the holiday.
Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe that's
There was a
why.
lot of kids.
Yeah, it's usually out of control. This one's usually out. This one in Sunrise is usually out of control.
Wow.
The police, the dogs, yeah, girls smuggling weed on, and always getting caught. Their boyfriends make them smuggle it on. They're always crying. Somebody's husband didn't come off the ship because he's in jail for taking the for confiscating the beach chairs by the pool at breakfast.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like putting their baseball cap on the seat at breakfast and then coming back and the baseball cap's gone and somebody's sitting sitting there and he starts some shit. Yeah, starts some shit. Yeah. And there's a fight happening because he's already been drinking with the unlimited drink pass. But I'm glad nothing happened. You guys are all going back to Fort Lauderdale Airport?
Yes.
On the same flight? What time's that flight leave?
5.
5?
Yeah.
You're going to spend all that time in the airport?
We don't have anything to do.
Oh. Well, I was going to say, I do a drop-off tour. I don't know that I'm available. Before I even look, I'll just explain. You might have an option of me holding your luggage and dropping you off at the beach, the mall, or the casino, coming back 3 hours before your flight, coming to get you and bring you to the airport. The charge is whatever you paid for the one way, you pay one more time, and that's called the drop-off tour, where I drop you off, you do your thing, and then I come back and get you and I hold the luggage. I do that. All right, that's great because I don't want to do it. I was offering a service.
Right.
I didn't even want to look at my calendar because I'm slammed today. But I was gonna, if you're my customers, if that's what you wanted to do, I was gonna try to make it work for you. But yeah, you guys probably want to relax, and relaxing at the airport is a good idea. Good idea.
Work tomorrow. Sit and chill.
Yeah. I've been doing this 8 years. And it's like Groundhog Day. You know what that means, Groundhog Day? No. When somebody says it's like Groundhog Day, you ever see that movie, Groundhog Day, with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Repeat over and over.
Repeat over and over. You wake, Bill Murray wakes up every day. The alarm's at 4 or whatever he wakes up. I wake up at 4, and every day it's the same. So in this business, every day's the same.
No days off?
No, I do take 2 weeks off. Well, this week I'm only taking 1 week, but normally I take 2 weeks off in Valentine's Day and I go away every year. But ever since the pandemic, I've been cutting it down to 1 week. And the 1 week's been fine. It's always been 2 weeks a year. So I work 50 weeks a year. I work 7 days a week, 50 weeks a year. And then I take 2 weeks off. Now I'm working 7 days a week, 51 weeks a year, and only taking 1 week off. That Valentine's week. So it's coming up. My week vacation is coming up. I'm real excited about it. What's that? Say it again? Oh, I do love it. I do love it. Yeah. I do love it. It's easy when you do it every day, too. It's harder when you stop. It's as weird as that sounds. It's easier if you just know that when you go to bed, you know what's going to happen the next day. If I had a couple of days off, it would be real hard for me to do what I do. But since I'm doing it every day,
What time of day you in?
the first flight out of the airport is at 7, right? So what time do you think people want to be at the airport if the first flight is at 7? What time do you think they want to be at 5, right? So what time do I got to pick them up? 4:30, right? So most of the time I'm waking up at 4 because there's no traffic at 4. So wherever you are in Fort Lauderdale or Miami, which is where I work, I can usually get there in a half hour.
GPS signal
If it's South
acquired.
Beach and South Miami, I might have to wake up at 3:45. But normally I can get up at 4 and pick up anyone in Fort Lauderdale or Miami and get them to the airport by 5. So after that, you might do that once or twice. Then you got a little break to get a cup of coffee. Go get something. I buy my coffee, get my coffee. Wash the van a little bit. I wash the van with the paper towels. Got it clean, and then I do my pickups at the cruise port. I do 2 a day, and then I start bringing people to the cruise ship after that. And then I go to the airport and pick people up at the airport and bring them to the hotels. And then after that, you got a lull around a late lunch. You got a little lull, and then there's usually 2, 3, or 4 night flights that are coming in late, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Lately, all the flights have been late. So the flights that were like yesterday, I had a 7:30 flight. It didn't come in till 10:30. You know, so I was driving yesterday. I didn't get home until it was 1:45 yesterday, and I had to wake up at 4 still.
So is it better to fly into Miami or to?
It's cheaper. It's cheaper to fly into Fort Lauderdale, but you have to hire a shuttle.
Yeah.
It's because the Miami hotels won't come get you in Fort Lauderdale. They'll only come get you at Miami Airport. But it's cheaper in Fort Lauderdale because Miami is an old airport, and it's very congested because pretty much every airline in the world flies into Miami Airport, like British Airways and Qantas, and you name it, Korean Air, right? There's 100 airlines that fly into Miami that you don't even know the name of, but they don't fly into Fort Lauderdale. So that means that even though Fort Lauderdale's claiming to be an international airport, it's only international with really South America and maybe some other places like Canada. So they get away with calling it international, but in reality, Miami's really the international airport because every airline goes into Miami. So people from Asia can't fly into Fort Lauderdale, right? People from, I guess, the UK really, because they're taking British Airways a lot. They can't fly into Fort Lauderdale. So since all the people all over the world are coming to Florida, South Florida, Miami, cruise ships, beach, and all that, they have to fly into Miami. There's no other airline, there's no other airport in Florida that they can go to. So since there's so many people that have to go into Miami and Fort Lauderdale, those airlines make a deal where if you're from North America and you can fly a North American airline, like all the airlines that we know of, American, Delta, Spirit, Frontier, Southwest, and all the other ones that I didn't name that you guys know about, right? Those are all in Fort Lauderdale. So to get you not to fly into Miami, they make the prices cheaper in Fort Lauderdale. So when you start looking for a flight online, and you search by price, which is what most people do, all the Fort Lauderdale ones will come up first. And then you'll notice there'll be more on the bottom that'll be Miami. There'll be an extra $80 a ticket or $100 a ticket. And when it comes to a group or a family, it can easily be $1,000. So you guys could have easily been $1,000 more if all of you would have flew into Miami. Now you do have the advantage of not having to hire a shuttle, most likely, if you came in late night at the airport, right? Maybe the shuttle doesn't work at night. Maybe you guys don't want to take a shared shuttle and carry your own luggage. Maybe you want to be in a shuttle like this. So the only advantage you have by flying into Miami is that you can get a hotel shuttle that'll pick you up for free, most likely, if they're available, and that saves money because you're getting to the hotel for free. And then they'll also take you to the cruise port, maybe for between $8 and $15. So sometimes that could be a little cheaper, but they won't pick you up from the ship, and then you'll still have to hire a shuttle to take you from the ship to Miami Airport. So a lot of times if you're going to hire a shuttle, you might as well hire them to do everything. You might as well hire them to do all 3 trips. So that's why it's cheaper to fly into Fort Lauderdale, because it's kind of a conspiracy to keep all of us Americans and Canadians and South Americans pushed to Fort Lauderdale, and all the Europeans and the Asians and the people from other parts of the world, Middle East, they're coming into Miami because they got no choice. Where do you guys live? Baltimore. Oh, yeah. Any of you think about moving here? No?
I like the vibrations of the cold and the heat.
So you're going to judge your existence on this planet based on weather?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, you just did?
Nope, I just like what I like. I don't like being in the hot weather.
Actually, I'm with you. I'm a European guy that loves the winter, and I'm sacrificing my life because my lifestyle is more important than the weather. Though, you didn't ask, where do you go for that 1 week a year? I go to Colorado
okay.
and Valentine's Day.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's an unbelievable winter wonderland up there. Unbelievable. I can't get that anywhere else. I look forward to it every year, and it is freezing. It's on, when you go up a mountain, it is freezing. But I love it. So I'm like you. I don't like to be hot. I like to be cold. But there's so many more reasons to want to live here.
How do you like it down here?
Oh man, this is paradise, and the lifestyle is unbelievable. And tourism funds this state. So since tourism funds this state, us Americans, like you and me, if we lived here, I do, you don't, you wouldn't have to pay taxes. You don't have to pay any taxes to the state. The tourists do it. The cruise ships do it. The airlines do it. So you guys have a little tourism up there because of Washington, right?
Right.
You got a little tourism, but nothing compared to us. You have people that are going to DC, you know, and you guys probably get a little bit of that tourism money, but nothing. Yeah, right. Nothing compared to this. So
you don't pay state taxes?
no, there's no state tax here.
What about retirement taxes?
I don't know. I never heard anybody ask that. I don't really know that. I think that would be a government thing, retirement, unless you work for. If you work for a company and you got a retirement plan from the company, then no. That would be only a payroll tax, but it nothing to do with the state. That would probably be government. But here, people are moving. Out of all the states, there's 3 states that people are moving to. Mostly they're moving out of California and New York, but they're moving to Florida, Texas, and I think the third one is like some southern state, like maybe, well, I call North Carolina southern state, but it's probably not. Yeah, it's either, I don't know if it's South Carolina or North Carolina or Tennessee or Mississippi. One of those 4 are number, yeah, one of those 4 are number 3. So Florida's number 1, Texas is number 2, and one of those states is number 3. All of them don't have state income tax. Meaning that if you opened up a little business, washing cars, pressure cleaning, painting, whatever, something silly, landscaping, you know, you wouldn't have to, whatever you make, you put in your pocket, and then you just got to deal with it once a year with the government. That's it. And that's easy to deal with when you have a company, because you got expenses, right? If you know what you're doing, you start a company in Florida, you don't ever have to pay taxes. When you hear people say, this guy's rich and never pays taxes, because he's in a state that doesn't collect tax, like Florida, and he opened up a corporation that has tax write-offs. You know that, you heard about this Trump, what's it called, big beautiful bill that he passed that goes into effect January 1st. I just found out that if you finance an American car starting January 1st, that all of that interest of that loan is deducted off your taxes. So he did that to make the American car boom, industry boom. All the foreign car companies hate it and they're suing him for it, because if you have a chance to go get a Camaro or a BMW and the lease or not the lease, but your payment is $500 a month, and $150 of that monthly payment is interest, that means you are actually making $150 a month just by driving the Camaro. Does that make sense? If you pay taxes. Now, if you don't pay taxes, that's a different story. But if you're working for a company and they're taking out taxes, and you have to go to H&R Block every year, you just tell H&R Block, here's my payment statements for my brand new whatever, even a Corvette, anything, any American car, Ford, Corvette, you name it. Matter of fact, even this car I could do that with, because I finance these vans. I have 4 of them. I could do it starting January 1st. I am going to do it. So literally, I will pay less taxes just because I'm driving an American car. So, and especially since it's a Florida corporation, you can write off a lot of stuff. Home office, you can write off. So if you can make money in Florida, which is very easy, I think, then you don't have to ever give the government any money. And if you do a little research online on YouTube and learn the benefits of a limited liability corporation, and starting with, I have a Haitian lawn guy that I give $500 a year to cash to do my lawn. 500. Actually, my whole neighborhood gives this guy 500 a year cash, right? They must have like 30 customers, right? So that's only $15,000 a year. But he tells me that he wants to start taking credit cards and he wants me to help him because he's been doing my lawn for 10 years. And I says, why, man? You're doing good with the cash, aren't you? He says, no, but I want to get a mortgage. I want to buy a house. I'm like, buy a house? How could you afford to buy a house? He goes, I got X amount of dollars saved up. Then he said he got like $50,000 saved up. He got $50,000 saved up? I don't even have $50,000 saved up. I said, really? He goes, yeah, man, I saved my money. He says, I said, all right, well, yeah, you need to, to get a loan, you're going to need to show income, and to show income, cash isn't going to do it because you're not depositing the cash, right? You're saving it. He goes, yeah. I said, okay, so I helped him do credit cards, and now he even has more customers because a lot of customers don't want to pay cash, don't have cash, or they write it off. They write off that lawn expense as a house expense, which I also do, also. So in a way, this guy is a Haitian guy. He speaks broken English, black, dark skin with red shot, blood, beady eyes, and he's like, doesn't speak any, he speaks enough English, but he's French. He speaks French. And his whole family's here now. He brought his whole family here. And he's literally, when you say living the American dream, I don't even know if he's a legal citizen. I really never asked him. It's none of my business. I don't care. That's why I thought originally why he was asking for cash, because if you're illegal, I don't know if you can open up a bank account or not. Maybe I thought he didn't have a bank account. He's asking for cash. I've been giving him cash for all these years. Now he's got a family. He met a woman in church. He's got kids. He's renting a house. He's renting a house. He wants to buy the house that he's renting from. And I'm talking about, this guy is not like an American like we are. He's really not. But the fact is he started here, and he was on the right trajectory. And now, he's buying a house. He's got taking credit cards, buying a house, and that's hard work. It's not easy work what he does, and especially in the summertime. You would never want to do landscaping and roofing is like the worst thing to do here in the summertime. But believe it or not, people make a lot of money doing it. They make a lot of money going on people's roofs in the summer and doing lawn care in the summer. I would never do it. I'd rather be in the air conditioning in the van. But you'd be surprised at how many people do those jobs in the summertime, and they get pretty good money because a lot of people won't do it, or they're not legit. This guy's a hustling landscaper. That's just one of those jobs that you can just do on a whim and open up a company and try to get some business. A couple of when people buy a house, I think they network with the they network with the realtors, and when the realtor sells the house, the realtor says, this is the lawn guy that's been doing the lawn, even though it wasn't. And now that person calls that guy. So the realtors kind of work with the lawn guys. They got this business relationship going where the lawn guy pays the realtor a little bit just for suggesting that he was the one that was doing the lawn. Because if somebody buys a house in Florida, people don't buy lawnmowers here and edgers and stuff. And you have to have special tools to do all this landscaping here anyway. It's not like you're just a lawnmower and an edger. You need like 5 different tools. You need to cut branches from palm trees, coconuts and stuff. You need special saws and stuff. And these lawn guys go buy it at Home Depot and they set up shop with realtors, and a lot of them do pretty good, and most of them are not Americans. At least Americans, and English is not their first language. I don't see how you can be American and English not be your first language. So for that reason, and mostly lifestyle reasons, I always tell people when they ask that it's a great place to live and start your own business. Maybe not work for a big company, that you can do anywhere, but this is where you would want to come to open up your own business. I think that's the best lifestyle, when you can run your own business and be your own boss and work when you want to work. Don't work when you want to work. And if the weather is really important, then you have to make enough money to be able to travel and experience that winter wonderland somewhere else, kind of like I do. Even though 1 week a year is not really enough, but that's all I'm doing right now. I actually lose too much money to take off. So it isn't like I can't afford to go for 2 weeks. It's just that when I look at how much I lose for not working that week, and I don't want. I'm weird. I don't want to lose that money. I weigh losing that money to going on vacation for an extra week, and I'm thinking I already sacrificed that money for 1 week. I'm not going to sacrifice it. So I used to. I'm not, because I make more money now than I used to. So when I used to take off, it wasn't as much to lose. Now it's a lot more. It's more than double what it used to be. I don't want to lose that. Florida is growing. So literally any business you start, right, it's going to get better and better every year, just because of how, like I said, everybody's moving here. So if everybody's moving here, any business that you start is probably going to get better and better, even if you don't do nothing and just keep doing the same thing every year. You're probably going to make more money every year, or at least you could by being busier. Did I convince you? No, right? Did I convince you? No. All right. I'll shut up. I did my best.
Baltimore born and raised, man.
Baltimore born and raised. Is that where they filmed The Wire?
Yes, sir.
I remember that show. Yeah. Remember Omar?
Yeah.
And he died, Omar, in real life.
Yeah,
He actually was from Brooklyn, like me. We're both. I'm sure we're not from the same neighborhood, but we're both from the same borough in New York. He was born in Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn. Yeah, he was probably born in Red Hook or something, Bedford-Stuyvesant or something like that. Because you could see he's very creative and he's a tough guy. He was in real life. He was actually a tough guy. Yeah, I think he did some prison time too in real life. He went to Brooklyn House of Detention. I remember when he died. I liked him a lot. I mean, as an actor, as a guy, he was a really good guy. And I saw a documentary about how he buddied up to Spike Lee, and I like Spike Lee too because he's from New York too. So when I saw that documentary and Spike Lee was interviewing him about his craft and all that, and he said, "Yeah, man, I've been stabbed, and I've been in Brooklyn House of Detention. I did 4 days in Rikers, and then Spike Lee goes, well, that hasn't hurt your career." He says, well, the parts I get are tough guy parts because I don't really have to act. I just act myself. I just got to learn the lines, and I'm like, oh, I love that. I love that about him. So really, when you saw The Wire and you saw him acting like that, he says that was really what his persona was. Right. He wasn't really an actor. He says the hardest things for him was to learn the lines, and he said that made him a great actor because the director liked him so much for the part that he was willing to work with him on the lines, even though a lot of other actors were nailing it, 1 take, 2 takes. He was having to go, for a while. First couple of seasons, Spike Lee said he was having a hard time the first couple of seasons, but by the end of I don't know how many seasons. There was many seasons of that show. It was so successful. By the end, he was a professional actor, could memorize lines. He was great. Yeah. Yeah, man, that was a great show, The Wire. I remember that. That was really great. But it didn't put Baltimore in a good light. You know what I mean? I'm sure they exaggerated it, like those row of houses that had that they were dealing drugs from, and they were keeping the dead bodies in, and then they were using the gun, the construction gun, and they were taking the plywood off, putting the bodies in there, and then I mean that was classic.
What much is that, Rich?
That was classic. And all the cops, the cops knew who they all were. Like, half the cops were crooked, except the little crew that they built, right?
Yeah, what far off.
Yeah. New York was like that too when I was growing up. But the Wire was only like 10 years ago, right? So that was probably 10 years ago.
Right.
So and I grew up a long time ago. And but the way the Wire was a little bit, it was like that when I was growing up in New York. Yeah.
I got on him when he was in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, I saw him. Yeah, Chauncey was his name. Chalky White. Yeah, he was right. He was with the other guy. I saw Boardwalk Empire too, right? Because I used to only have HBO, and both of those were on HBO. Yeah, I used to only have HBO. Yeah, I remember Boardwalk Empire. He was great in that too. Yeah, he was great. He played the same part, right? Think about the part that he played. He was playing more sophisticated because back then it was more sophisticated. So he was acting classy, dressing classy, but he was gangster. He was the gangster, right? So it was easy for him to play the gangster, but he had to play a little diplomatic because that was back in the I guess that was in the 30s or 40s, and back then. The black man was copying the white man back then. So he was having to dress like the white man and speak like the white man. Yeah, and so he was trying to fit in. And forgot the name of the guy that was in Nucky Thompson was trying to help him because he knew he could earn with him. He knew, I think he was importing alcohol, and he was like the distributor to the black community or something, or the churches.
Down Atlantic City.
Yeah, remember the church guy? What happened to that guy? The guy that that guy's a famous actor too. That guy, the guy that ran the churches, he was really crooked. He was taking money from the politician was taking money from people. No, that was the guy from Boardwalk Empire. I'm getting them confused. Man, both of those shows were great. Yeah. We're here. This is the airport right here on the right. We'll be there in 5-10 minutes.
You got next spot here?
Oh no, my next job is at 2 o'clock. So I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna go to Sprouts and go food shopping. And put the bags over here because for the rest of the day, nobody's going to be sitting in there. Yeah, because I had a big group before you, and they were sitting over there. But yeah, and then I got like 3 jobs after that, so I got 4 jobs left. You're my 3rd job today. I got 4 more, so 7 jobs today.
Signal stored.
But I love that idea, man. Finance an American car and tax deductible. I mean, that's unbelievable. Nobody really knows about it because nobody's talking about it. I mean, unless you are in the loop and find out what the hell is going on with politics and with taxes and stuff. Most people are never going to know that. But all the major car companies went to the White House because they're trying to promote this tax-free benefit, and all the major companies, Ford, and General Motors, they all agreed that they're going to start putting signage in their dealerships, and which, if you think about it, it makes sense to finance a used car, because the used car, they charge you more interest, but you're going to get a much cheaper car.
Yeah.
So imagine buying a $10,000 like F-150, like a 2000 whatever, like a 2021, let's say 2020, 2021. Let's say it's worth 10 grand, which is a great car, great truck at a great price. 10 grand, let's say, and you put 5,000 down on it. Now you're financing 5,000. So really, if you get that $5,000 back, you really paid 10 grand for the car and you financed it for free. Forget about that's the best option, not to go to the dealership and buy it brand new, because you know what they say: as soon as you drive it off the lot, you lose 10 grand, right? So that, if you can afford to do it and you don't mind making high monthly payments and you want to drive a new car, I never drove a new car. So, but a lot of people only want to drive a new car, and if they can afford to and they don't care about money, yeah, I don't drive new cars. I buy my vans from Enterprise Rent-A-Car. This was an Enterprise van rental. Yeah, they get rid of them when there's 75,000 miles on it, and I'm on a list.
How much do they charge for that?
I bought this for $37,000, this van, about a year and a half ago. It had 75,000 miles. I had to pay another $2,000 to ship it here from New Jersey, because the connection I have is in New York. So it's the guy that's in charge of procurement for use. Oh wow, look at this line. Holy shit. It's crazy. This is the line to get into the airport. What? You're at Spirit?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's at the end of the airport. We're gonna be in the van for at least another half hour. But whatever. That's just the way it's gonna go. I know you ain't in a hurry. Well, my next job's at 2, so I'm good. So yeah, when it comes to the vans, when Enterprise vehicles, not just the vans, the vehicles too, when everything hits 75,000 miles, they go for sale. But what they do is they're supposed to put it on a website, right? So the guy that puts it on the website, he sees it first, right? Same with the guys at the bank that do the foreclosures. They grab all the ones to give it to their friends. It's very hard to get caught doing that, right? How you gonna, you press print and you send it to somebody and you say, hey, tomorrow or next day I'm putting this online.
Right.
So what you do is before he puts it online on enterprise.com/sales, let's say, I get it like a couple of days before. And then as soon as I get it in my email, I call him up and say, I want it. And then I send him $2,000, and I have 30 days to renege on the deal.
Okay.
So as soon as it hits, I send him $2,000, I wire transfer him, I Zelle $2,000. Now he doesn't put it online. And now I have 30 days to see if I want it.
Right.
If I don't want it, I can get my $2,000 back. But that's what prevents it from going online, right? And then during that, as soon as he says, okay, we received your deposit, because the deposit hits instantly if it's Monday through Friday. As soon as I pay it, he says, we got it. Okay, good. I said, no, what's the VIN number? Now, once he gives me the VIN number, then I go to Carfax. I look, oh, it's been an accident. No. Send me some pictures. Okay, we have the pictures. The pictures were going to go online. Now they're going right to me. So for the past pretty much 5 years, I've been doing that. I buy a van every year, pretty much, that way. And I put so many miles on this van. I put 125,000 miles on this van in 1 year. So think about that. It's 100,000 miles a year, more than 100,000 miles a year. And these vans, you only put 300 grand on it, and then you don't want to use it anymore. You're worried about something breaking, oil pump, alternator. You're gonna just start changing stuff in the engine just because you're scared? No. So this has 210,000 miles. So next year I got to get rid of this one, and I got to bring it to the auction. Actually, CarMax is you heard of CarMax?
Yeah, we have CarMax.
CarMax is really an auctioneer. You know how they say they'll buy any car? The reason why they'll buy any car is because they just take the car and they bring it to the auction. So when they charge you a fee. So they charge you like 10%. So they're going to give you $1,000 for the car. Then they're going to charge. Then if the auction's going to give you $1,000 for the car, CarMax gives you $900. So rather than deal with the auction, I have a guy at CarMax. I just wheel it in, and they just open up the doors. They make sure everything works, air conditioned, everything. As long as they don't even drive it, they just come in, open up the car, they look around it, then they classify it as good condition. As long as it's in good condition, then they buy it. So they would buy this probably for around $9,000, $8,000 in a year. They probably buy this for $8,000 or $9,000, and then they'll sell it for $15,000 at the auction. And I bought it for $37,000. And new, these vans are 50, 60. It depends on the options, between 50 and 60. This really doesn't really have options. I think this was just a base model. I think I put running boards on here, tinted the windows, and got floor mats. That's it. Everything else is stock here. No bells and whistles. Because that's the way Enterprise orders them. And Enterprise orders them stock. But they're stopping making this, and I'm kind of a little upset about that, which means I'm never going to be able to get new ones. That they stopped making this. So
What are they replacing it with?
they're not. General Motors is not they're not going to do a 15-passenger van, but Ford makes one. There's one behind me. I'll let them go by me so you can see it. But I don't want to drive that piece of crap. Look at this piece of crap with the plastic bumpers. And that's what Ford's trying to let everybody use, but I won't ride that. Yeah, look at this piece of crap with the plastic bumpers. Look at this piece of crap. See that thing? That's what I want to say they want me to drive. But if you want to drive an American 15-passenger van, that's the only thing you're going to be able to buy in the future. And they're starting to make an electric one. And I don't know that I can ever use an electric one. I mean, I don't think it's going to be good enough. But I don't want to drive that thing. It's a piece of crap. It's a V6. It's got small, tiny tires. It's got no clearance. It's got all plastic around the whole thing. They don't even make ambulances and school buses out of that. It's not even good enough to make an ambulance or a school bus. So why would I want to drive that? I can't. If you're not going to use make an ambulance out of it. So then the only option you have then is to get a Mercedes, and I'm not driving no diesel with a high roof that has to be brought to Mercedes to get fixed. That's ridiculous too.
So what's your option?
My options are to drive used ones like this,
Oh.
and to just keep throwing money into them, and that's probably what I'm going to do. So when it comes time to hit 300,000 miles, they got to say, hey, do I want to sell it for and try to get something else, and then what am I going to get? Or do you bring it into the dealer or bring it into your mechanic and say, hey, I need you to go through this van and replace anything you think is going to break. It's 300,000 miles, and he might say, okay, we need a belt, you need a battery, you need a belt, you need an alternator, you need a water pump, you need a fuel pump, you need this, you need that, and I probably would just say, go ahead and do it. In a way, if you do change those components, it should be like new. Should be. If you have a good mechanic, it should be. The engine, one thing good about Enterprise is they're always changing the oil. Enterprise doesn't skimp like a crappy oil, rent-a-car companies. Enterprise does have a schedule, and I was told that Enterprise is top-notch maintenance on their vehicles. So when you buy a used one, you know it's good. I'm really good with maintenance. I get always new tires, brakes, oil change all the time. So if you're going to drive aggressively in this weather, in this town, you need to have good brakes, good tires. So I'm really, as soon as my tires are worn, I'm like changing the oil. I'm like, you can put 4 more tires on there. He goes, like, sure, you don't need them? Put them on there because I want my tires brand new. Yeah, my tires are brand new. Even these tires are brand new. Yeah, these tires are pretty much probably a month old, these tires. Yeah, these tires are great. The best tires you can get. Maybe one day I'll be driving electric. Who knows? Ford's trying to do it. They call it the E-Transit. Yeah, E-Transit it's called. And they're making cargo vans out of it. I think Walmart does delivery services in them. So if you order something from Walmart and they deliver it to your house,
Yeah.
they come in an electric van.
Wow.
Yeah, it's called the E-Transit. But it's a cargo version. So now they're starting to make a passenger version of that. A lot of people drive electric cars down here. They wouldn't do good where you live because electric cars supposedly don't do good in the cold weather.
Lots of people have them though. They have the units inside their garages or.
Yeah, I was told like when there's big snowstorms up in Midwest and stuff, that people are going out to their cars and the cars aren't starting because the batteries freeze. You know, yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, and I heard that the car companies now are trying to create some kind of warming system in the car, so when the temperature goes down, there's a heating mechanism that heats up the battery. Yeah. But they do really, electric cars do really good in this town because of the weather. Well, a lot of people going to the airport, pick up and drop off. From Monday, I guess everybody. Yeah, but this is the week. This is people that got on the cruise now. That's their New Year's Eve cruise.
Yeah.
So these people are leaving for New Year's Eve, which is really weird because everybody usually comes here for New Year's Eve. This must be, and it's kind of too late for a cruise ship departures. Usually it's early. It's too late. Like people have already left all the cruise ships. This must be people just going from out of town.
Getting home from out of town.
Yeah, I think.
Flying out from New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I think these are people. Yeah, these are people just leaving Florida to go somewhere else. It is busy.
I'm sure there'll not be lots of people flying in and reporting home.
Yeah. Is this the first time you did this? Or you do this every year or every now and then? Or what?
So my kids and I have been away several Christmases, but this is the first one we've done as a family. So this was like,
You guys are family?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if you were friends or family.
That's my husband, my dad.
Okay, so you
my
guys
two
are.
sons and my son's
All
daughter.
right, so it's a family trip. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So after my divorce, my sons and I go away every Christmas.
That's great.
But now they include my dad and my husband.
That's a great thing to do as a family. It really is. And you know what? If you come here and do this a lot, eventually you start doing it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. You know how to do it.
You figure out how to do it.
Yeah, you know which ship to go on. You know what hotel to stay at. You know what shuttle company to rent, or hire. So yeah, you probably can every year save some money.
Carnival was nice, but I don't have to do it again. I would rather do it on a ship.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a saying: you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
It's always good to start with the cheapest.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
what we did. Just to explain it was a
yeah,
short trip.
and I knew that, right? So you always start with the cheapest, and then you judge your standards based on how much
Yeah.
money you paid, and then you can only go up from there.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's good. It's great because now when you have a family, every price is quadrupled. Every price is doubled. So you have to look at that. And for kids, I don't think it matters. For adults, like
Oh, yeah, definitely that.
yeah, Carnival is good for kids, college kids, young adults.
Little kids.
Yeah, little kids, right? Yeah, but once you become an adult, you're going to compare it to your experiences at home, and you want it to be at least as good as that, right? I agree. You want it to be at least as good as if you went out at the house and went out for dinner or went out to be entertained. You want it to at least be good as that, and it's not. It's not yet. And the ships where you probably would enjoy, they're going to be more expensive. You probably paid, let me guess, you probably paid about $130 a day. If you do the math in your head, how many days you were gone, times that by about $130. Is that, am I close?
Yeah, I was more than that.
You
So
paid-
besides the girlfriend's room, I think that was the cheapest room. And that
You paid
was
more than $130 a day?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot then.
$1,200, I think.
Maybe they're raising prices then, because usually Sunrise and Conquest are the cheapest ships.
They aren't that cheap anymore.
Yeah. Sunrise is the poop cruise.
Yeah.
You heard about the poop cruise?
No.
You didn't hear about the poop cruise?
What's it?
Yeah, you don't have Netflix?
Say it again.
You don't have Netflix?
Yeah.
Go to Netflix and type in poop cruise. There used to be a ship called the Carnival Triumph, and that cruise lost power, and the toilets didn't work. And I don't want to spoil it and tell you what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, man, you can go. Look at this Tesla. Tesla broke down. Look at this. See that? Brand new Tesla broke down. Yeah. So the Carnival Triumph. I mean, I'm not going to tell you. I want you to watch it. But the Carnival Triumph is a Carnival's disaster.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah, and they renamed it. They put millions of dollars into it. They made it beautiful. There's no doubt. They had to. They had no choice. They were going to either sell it or fix it, and they redid the whole ship, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they named it Carnival Sunrise. So people that go on the Carnival Sunrise are going on the poop cruise.
Okay.
Some of them know it, and some of them don't. I don't tell them because I don't want to ruin it for them, right? But you didn't go on the poop cruise. You went on the Conquest, so there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, when you go home, try to watch that. You'll get a kick out of it, especially since you just got off a Carnival ship. Yeah, they have people interviewing from Carnival. One thing I learned is that under no circumstances can you sue Carnival. Anything. When you bought your ticket, you agreed that under no circumstance of life or death or anything that you're legally allowed to sue them. So that means if that ship sank and your son and daughter died, you can't sue them. So if you can't even sue them for death, you definitely can't sue them if the cruise was ruined because it ran out of gas or it started flooding or the toilets were overflowing. People were taking their mattresses and putting them on deck and sleeping on the deck because they couldn't deal with the smell and everything from the cabins. Everything was coming out of the toilet. So it's unbelievable. That's why they call it the poop cruise. Yeah, unbelievable story. I couldn't believe it when I watched it. People watch that and say they would never even cruise again. Some people say that they watch that, they will never cruise again. But it's, that's a 1 in a million situation that happened, and they explained what happened.
Things happen everywhere.
Yeah, they explained. They interviewed engineers. They interviewed the people that were in charge back then of that situation. It was very interesting.
What's the nicest cruise that comes out of Florida?
I think Virgin is right up there, and I think Disney is right up there. I think the two nicest.
The Virgin.
Yeah, it's funny because the two high-end lines are one's for kids and one's for adults. So it's not for young adults,
Yeah.
It's for kids. Yeah, usually babies and kids. Disney is expensive and it's supposed to be top-notch, and Virgin. Disney leaves out of Fort Lauderdale right here, and Virgin leaves out of Miami.
Yeah, I saw Virgin. My friends said they really enjoyed Virgin.
Yeah, I mean all the couples. I don't take a lot of people to Virgin because mostly it's couples. It's not families, So I only take groups. So if it's 2 or 3 people, 2 couples or 1 couple, they usually take an Uber. Or I think Virgin even has their own kind of transport. When you buy something from Virgin, it's all inclusive. Like no buffets, only restaurants, free drinks. You can drink champagne for free. There's no top shelf, bottom shelf. You could go to the bar and say, give me a Bacardi and Coke, give me some champagne, give me a bottle of whatever. And I don't know if they'll give you a bottle, but they'll give you a drink. Everything is included. So that's one of the reasons why it's expensive is there's no buffets. Everything is sit-down dinners and sit-down lunches and bistros that you can just go in and order and sit down. So there's no buffets, and supposedly it's really nice. I mean, if somebody was going to say, I'll buy you a ticket on a cruise, I would say Virgin.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go to Disney because of the kids, and I would want to go on a ship that had no kids. I like that. And not only that, the ship was designed. It's not just like a marketing ploy where, now we're not going to let any kids on this ship, because most ships are built for kids where they have slides and stuff for the kids, right? And that takes up space on the ship for adults. Those Virgin ships were built for no kids. So that means is 100% of that ship, every activity
adults.
is adults. I mean, some of it is extreme, like they have a tattoo parlor, they have a cigar rolling and cigar smoking. They have a room that you go in that's just filled with people smoking cigars.
Yep.
Girls are getting tattoos. I mean, stuff like that. You know, the waitresses are wearing G-strings with little skirts. You know, I've seen little pictures of that where, you know, nobody's going to complain because you're an adult. But if you had a kid, you would say, I don't want my daughter or my son seeing this, right? But they know that you got to be over 18, so that they're dressed very, you know, very
Jamie's been 3 times.
provocative.
She invited us twice, but we can never go. It's because Macy's always in school.
Yeah, I think the 2 ships that come here are exactly the same. They look the same. And it's called the Scarlet Lady and the Valiant Lady.
Okay.
And I think they have 3 ships, and one of them's in Europe. I forgot the name of that one. So they have 3 ships. All the ships are the same, but they all go to different places. So when he built when he started the cruise line, he built 3 ships basically. He said, "Here's the money. I want 3 ships, and I want these 3 names." And the ships supposedly. Oh, the only thing that's different is the names of the restaurants, because different people come in and, you know, do different restaurants. So the restaurants are different on each ship, but everything else I think is the same.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at Virgin for next time.
Yeah, I would do that.
Mace. You can hang out with Spice and Mama. We go with Virgin. I'm not gonna stay with y'all.
Chances are, if you go on that ship, you probably would never want to go on another ship again, because supposedly that ship is run differently than any other cruise line. So since you just got off the Conquest,
Yeah.
this is going to be so different to go on something like
That's
that,
what James
which
said.
is really what you want. You want that. You want a totally different experience, so you don't get bummed out on cruising. If you thought cruising was just what you experience now, you might not want to even do it again. But once you go on Virgin, you're going to say, "Oh, now this is what it was supposed to be like." Yeah. So, but you're not going to bring the kids, and you're going to spend more money. But that money is not wasted. That money is worth it. Even if, like, I'd rather go on Virgin once every 5 years than go on Carnival every year.
Right.
You know, so if you got to save up to go on Virgin, you know, then it's worth it. It's worth it to go to Virgin every 5 years than it is to go to Carnival every year. People get dressed up. You know, they bring dresses and high heels. They bring dresses and high heels. They actually have a dress code. You know, they have a dress code. Like, you're not allowed in with shorts and flip-flops in some of the places. No tank tops, no cut-off shirts.
For some events, it should be like that.
In some places, not all. Like, and you know that because you're told that. You're told.
Send you that information.
Yeah, they send it on your phone. You're like, your phone is constantly getting updates. You're using their Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. Everything's free. Everything's included. Yeah, so it's really a good idea. It really is.
Definitely the plan.
Yeah. Crazy busy, huh? The airport? Yeah, crazy busy. You're at Terminal 4. We're at 3. We're at 2. You said you're going to Spirit, right?
Spirit,
Yeah,
yes.
you're at 4. We're at 2. So we'll be there. Should be there in like maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, something like that.
Okay.
that's what everybody's trying to have to drive. See this right here? That's what I'm not driving that. And that one looks great. It's brand new, but it's still so crappy. I think we spent more time in the airport than we did coming here.
Probably so.
I think I got here in 35 minutes, probably, and I think we've been in the airport more than 35 minutes.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Holiday season travel.
Yeah. I'll open the doors for you. Make sure you don't leave anything in the bag.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No phones, headphones.
Excuse me, Tom. What do you want to take? Some new information. I always take and verify. There's some good nuggets to verify later.
Wait, let me take the seatbelts off. Just be careful. Be tight. Get out. Look, I'll hit your head up here, okay? Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Red light camera ahead.
Okay, I'll text it to your phone right now. Okay? All right. Thank you. Bye.